Good afternoon from Cambodia. I just finished supper. I made chicken curry for supper and the boys helped clean up. May just got back home after a busy day. So yeah, today was one of those days. It's been raining cats and dogs and flooding in the city. We're fortunate here where we're at that our street hasn't flooded. But yeah, I had to go to the post office. I had to mail a letter to my sister who we just discovered each other through DNA. And so then Joe and I wandered around the circle there, the whole area of the post office, and took photos because the architecture there is French colonial and it's gorgeous. Even the buildings that are dilapidated, they're gorgeous. And so yeah, we then got a tuk-tuk and went to the FCC and had a lovely lunch, and it was by then pouring. It was like, you know, just sheets and sheets of rain. But it was really, really nice to be there. It's such a landmark. I mean, I love it. So I haven't been there in years. And then I called a PassApp and wanted to go to Lucky Market. And most people, you know, they know Pasa Lucky, and that's Pasa meaning market, Lucky the name of the store. So and it's on Sihanouk Boulevard. So you know, I know the main roads around here, you know, and I pay attention. You know, thankfully my father, you know, taught me how to pay attention when I'm out and about. So you know, I know my main boulevards and things like that, and which direction. I've got a good sense of direction. So so we get in and it's pouring, so he zips up the sides, and it's a brand new tuk-tuk. I mean, you could smell the newness, and it still had the Made in India sticker on it. Now, it's not a tuk-tuk, it's a rickshaw. And if you were to watch Best Exotic Marigold Hotel or Darjeeling Limited or Express, you know, they have these rickshaws in them. So it's the, you know, new thing here in Cambodia to travel by rickshaw. So I said, so he's looking at his phone, the map, and I said, Squall, you know, I haven't lately said that, you know, but I said, Squall Gun Line Pasa Lucky? And he says, nope. And I said, okay, I said, you know, that's not a problem. I said, Squall Plo Sihanouk. He says, nope. And he talked, you know, he spoke really clear English, and I was talking Khmer. So I mean, we were talking back and forth, and then he said, I'm brand new. So not only was the rickshaw brand new, he was brand new. And there was just an article in the Post last week, I think it was, that talked about how a lot of these drivers for PassApp, whether they be rickshaws or tuk-tuks, some of them don't know. You know, they may know, but like Sihanouk Boulevard is a main boulevard. So if you're from Phnom Penh, you should know Mao Se-tung, Moni Vong, Sihanouk Boulevard. You know, so most of them, if you say that, like I said to the driver who was bringing us to the post office, he said Jung Do, and I said Prai Sani, which means post office. He says, oh, okay. You know, and it was on his map anyway, but he understood Prai Sani. And he thought it was cute that I actually knew the word for post office. So, you know, I had no problem. You know, we got to the post office. You know, it was a long ride, but oh well. Well, so this guy, I mean, he was really sweet, but he was very forthcoming that he didn't know any place. And so he said, do you know? And I said, yeah, I'm pretty sure I know how to get us from here. You know, once I get on the strip, then I'll know, you know. And so I said to Joe, I said, it's like the blind leading the blind, you know. It's like, wow, this is really something. So then he was amazed. You know, I brought up my GPS, and because he kind of pulled over and I was showing him, he says, wow, you understand that? I says, yeah, because, and again, in the article, it said that a lot of them don't understand. You know, they don't read maps, you know, so it's only if they know where they're going, you know, if you tell them, you know. So we were like, you know, it was pretty funny. So we're going down, you know, so he was amazed that I knew, you know, which way to go, you know, and I'm telling him, Bach Sadam, Bach Twain, you know, left or right, you know, and yep, do throng, go straight, yep, those, just keep on going straight, you know, do throng. And so he's, you know, like he's relying on me. So we finally, I thought, oh God, maybe they moved this lucky market, and it's no longer on here. But I said, okay. I said, I thought it was gone. So I said, well, squall sa tultumpong? Nope. And I'm like, wow, we're really in trouble. I'm like, okay, I'm trying to think, like, okay, we're here. Okay, so we got to get on to Monivong, and then we got to go on to Mao Zedong. I said, okay, I can do that, but then all of a sudden we go by Lucky. I said, there it is. And he says, okay, he says, I'll do a U-turn. So we did. We pulled a U-turn, and amazing, we didn't have any traffic that almost killed us. And so I said, would you, some jam? And he says, yep, nope, it's not a problem. So Joe and I ran in there. We were looking for smart water, distilled water, but nope, they didn't have it. So so we came out. So I said, we're going in the right direction. I said, but he turned around. He says, I think I know where it is. So I let him go. But then he was like, scratching his head. And I said, well, just take a left, Botch Twain on Monivong. He's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, go ahead. And so he's like, and he wasn't really sure how to run his rickshaw, so he wasn't giving enough gas. So we're kind of going across the intersection, and it's kind of dying out on us. And I'm like, geez, I'm crow, this is not where I want to, get hit. But he got across, and so he's like, so we do wrong? I says, yep. I said, just go straight. And so I'm looking at my map to see how many streets we go down before we hit Mao Zedong. So he said, do wrong? And, he's really worried that I don't know where I'm going. And I said, yeah, it's okay. I said, apanyaha kinyam dung, kinyam squall, gun line, and, plo. And so I'm trying to reassure him. And so it's like, Joe and I are talking back and forth. And so then I'm like, there it is. There's Mao Zedong. I said, Botch Saddam. And he says, okay. So he gets on there, and so then he's going down, and he's like looking around, where am I? And so I said, okay, now Botch Twain. And he said, Botch Twain? I said, yep, take a left. So, and then we go down Street 135, and then I said, okay, Botch Saddam, take a right. And so he's like truly amazed. And then I said, Botch Saddam again, and then Botch Twain. And so he's like, wow, and so I got out, I paid him, I tipped him because I felt so bad for him. And I said, okay, so now listen to me, because you're over on the other side of town. You're not over on the waterfront. And I don't know where you're from, but so I told him, I said, okay, so go down the end of the street, take a right. So Botch Saddam, then you're going to come to the end, Botch Saddam, and then you'll be on Mao Zedong. I said, just do. And then when you come to the lights, I said, then you're going to Botch Twain, and that bring you onto Monivong. And he's like, okay. So I watched him, and sure enough, he did. So that was my experience of how to get across the city with a rickshaw driver who didn't know where he was going. So I was able to guide him, and I mean, back in May, I probably couldn't have done that. I would have been like, but now, my Khmer's coming back. So at least I can communicate enough, even if they're thinking it's really funny to hear a foreign woman, talking, but yeah, he was like, really, where you're going, and oh my God, you're reading the map, and he's like scratching his head. So yeah, it was pretty funny. So yeah, that was our experience today with a PassApp. So I mean, and the guy was really sweet, I've only had a couple that are like really rude, and I didn't tip them. And I generally don't tip, but I mean, like if they're waiting for me, like if I go to the store or, we're going a long distance, I'll tip them a little bit because, it's just like, that's just, I feel the right thing to do. But yeah, it was like really something. So I was thinking to myself, this another experience with the PassApp, it's like cool. And I had my travel buddy, Joe, he's game for anything. So, yeah, he was looking, because he can remember when he was little, and we'd go to the post office and we'd sit and wait in the van sometimes if I didn't want to go in and just watch the tree come alive with monkeys. And so he says, is that the corner? I said, yeah, that's the corner over there. And so, but they were doing construction on one of the old buildings, so we didn't hang around. It was kind of dark and it was getting ready to rain, so I was like, I didn't want to hang around. But yeah, so But anyway, so I will attach some video of when we were at the FCC and photos so that you can see. Today was not the best day, you know, as far as light. You know, it was just kind of a gray, misty day, but still beautiful in some ways. And the river was really swollen. So, yeah, but that was my day, and I'm sticking to it. So, see you later.
Take one for that.
Okay, where do you want to sit? Want to sit by the window? I mean the...
There's a spot.